Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is April the 8th, 2026. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to ya. Hopefully you humped and didn't get humped. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Today was good. On the overall, it was a solid day. Couple of stressful moments, couple of stress points in it, but we kept it moving. So let's see. Starting off, I went to go to the dogs. And this is, we started off right off with a little bit of a problemo. I came in and I look at the kitchen and I'm like, oh man, I really hope that's a couple of puddles of water I'm looking at maybe. No, it wasn't. One of the dogs had a little bit of an accident, a little bit of an incident. And it makes sense. I was a bit distracted last night and wound up pulling the dogs in a bit too early. I was like, okay, I know I saw him pee. I know I saw him poop. They're good. But sometimes there's something in me that lets me know, hey, let them cook a little bit longer. They need to go more, and or let them come in and then send them back out. And I didn't do that. I was just like, nope, I got to wrap up. Let's go. And that was my bad. So I proceed to get, some cleaning supplies, at least what they have available, clean it up to the best of my ability, and we, let him out, let him use the restroom, all that stuff, and then, we go on about our day. But needless to say, I started off a little bit more frazzled than usual, but we get into work, and overall, there is no work for us, and I'm like, well, golly, looks like it's going to be one of those days where I'm going to have to go upstairs. So I grabbed an RF gun and proceeded to go looking to do some putbacks. But at the time, it was the top of the day, so there really just wasn't anything. I proceeded to kind of go back downstairs. I waited for work. I eventually get some work. And it's enough to keep me there for the rest of the day. So that was good. Another moment that happens is the same time clocking event with the system that we have happened again. That happened to, Monday, where it completely mislogs all my punches. So I have to go track down a supervisor, my alternative supervisor, substitute supervisor. There we go. We'll use that. And I have to, get them to fix everything. And it was just a longer affair than I felt like it needed to be. But I was like, whatever. I'm sitting on my duff. I shouldn't complain. Whatever. So we get that done. And then we close out the rest of the day. Easy peasy, living the squeezy. Now it's time to go back to the dogs. And this is the part of the week where I check on the cats. I check on the litter, check on their food, make sure they're good to go. Now, longtime listeners know I've had some run-ins here. This is a big inflection point for your boy, because the first time we did this shit, I let the cats out, and that was like releasing the Kraken. And nothing bad happened, but it just became a whole ordeal. The second time, we followed all the instructions, and the cats stayed in. No problems, no worries. Now, this time, there wasn't an issue per se, but I will say I made a bit of a fuck up. I fucked up. So I go in there and I'm able to infiltrate the room and they don't get out. So step one, complete. Love that for me. Now, a bit of foreshadowing. There's a gate for the dogs that I'm supposed to open and, then get in, then walk in. I didn't do that. I left it there because I was just like, I don't know. I want to maybe if it like potentially sunlocks one of the cats or something, that gives me maybe a chance to grab them before they get out. Whatever. I was overthinking this whole thing. But I leave that. I hop over the gate. I open the door. I get in there. Whatever. I proceed to clean all the litter. I proceed to check on their food. Everything's good. Awesome. We love that. Checkpoint. Now, I forget the name of the cat, the younger cat. I remember the older cat's name. But the younger cat is a bit more spry. He's still small, still a little small guy. Actually, it might be a girl. I can't remember. But, they're still a little small, little bean. but they are quicker, somehow quicker. I can tell, like they're matching my gait, my pace. Like I can't shake them. They're my little bogey. They keep nuzzling my ankles, and they're being so cute, so adorable. Just being around me, because they miss people. They're in that mode. They're in that phase. I completely get it, and that's such a cute cat. I love a cat like that, honestly. Even though I'm dealing with the effects of the allergies right now. But needless to say, I'm like, okay, bud, I've completed my mission. It's time for me to go. And they kept walking with me to the door. And I'm like, you are too spry for this. You are too quick and agile. If I open that door, and I know the gate's there too, so I can't just walk out. I'm like, fuck, no. And I'm literally just dancing with this cat. We're just playing this adorable little cute game. And, I eventually just do a thing where I throw a little trickery, because they have this laundry bin, and the laundry bin has like some paper towels, or not paper towels, towels in there or whatever. And they're small enough for me to pick up, and they don't freak out, which I'm like, thank you. Granted, I don't know how long I could hold them before they did freak out, but I was like, all right, we're going to just scoop you into this laundry bin. And then he would hop out. They would hop out, and I was like, oh, crap. So I did it one more time, open the door, jump over the gate, close the door. And I made it. Mission complete. And I hear them just mewing away. Meow, 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 meow. And I'm like, hey, bud, look, I'll see you when I see ya. But this is where I messed up, because in trying to dodge the cat and like figure out my game plan, I dropped the bag full of the kitty litter that I cleaned out. And I was like, aw, rats. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We might just leave that for them. And it'll just be what it is. I don't know. Whatever. But needless to say, we wrapped up there. We took a quick pit stop at home, and then headed to the gym. Gym is still very busy, and I hate it. Plus, not to mention, I'm very limited with my time. And actually, let me segue to my next point while we're at the gym. Another thing that I'm kind of stressed about is like the future of my gym time is like, it's forever changed, and it's kind of a bummer. And maybe I'm being a bit dramatic here at this moment, but I was talking to a coworker, and I had mentioned this before, I think last month or so, but they had asked me, they said, hey, come May, I'm going to need you to give me a ride for like Monday to Friday, at least from work. I'm gonna need you to drop me off from work. And I'll give you like money once a month, but we only need to do this for like the summer, because the person who's giving me rides is going to be leaving the country. They're going to be leaving. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's the summer, like, a bit of a jam in that regard, because it's going to, mess with my time or whatever. But hey, I need the money for one. Two, this is a person who's a homie. They give me chatapate. They're good people. So I'm down to help out. And plus, they're not very far from me. This all kind of technically works out. So I was like, all right, I'm down to do that. Anyway, they hit me up today at work, and they like just no warning, no heads up. And I could tell they wanted something. And I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up? What do you need? And they're like, hey, so remember that proposal I pitched you? We need to do that like next week. And I was like, what? Like, and essentially they're like, yeah, so the plan expedited early for them. I think they said like someone in the family is sick or something. It's neither here nor there. Details, right? And I'm like, okay, oh, damn, that sucks. All right, well, yeah, I can do that. So, we more or less just talked price, hammered everything out. And I'm going to be doing that for a whole year, not just a summer. And I'm like, hold up. Wait, once again, that was something that was dropped in the middle of us talking about all this. And I'm like halfway agreeing. And I'm like, wait. So you need this not just for the summer. You need this for the whole year. And they're like, yeah, I need you. And there's a bit of a language barrier here. I'll add that. I don't think that they're trying to make a move or play me or anything like that. Like I do consider this person like a friend, like a friendly coworker. But that being said, there is still a language barrier at play here when, we're trying to iron out all these details, and it's important. So I was like literally just trying to make the decision on the fly. And I'm like, okay, Isaiah, we had already said yes to this previously. Let's just say yes now, right? Let's just be the friend that we were going to be anyway, right? Like, okay. So anyway, back to the gym. I just thought it was going to be this week. Okay, then I could power through with more normal workouts, maybe get back to square one, really feel myself for at least the rest of this month. Have a bit of a bum summer, but that's okay. And, come fall and winter time, we'll be good again once school starts or whatever. And this is like officially a phase change. And I didn't want to make this phase change where I was working out less like this until I looked a certain kind of way. And at least that was my fantasy plan last year when I really started bearing down on this shit and I locked in on a routine that I wanted, which was going like 2 hours a day, hitting shit the way I was, with the progressive overload, blah, 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 blah. So where I'm at now is like kind of what I expected, but I wanted to look so much. I wanted to look different. I wanted to look cock diesel. I wanted to look, ooh. So it's a bit disheartening in that way. It's a bit, I don't want to say discouraging, but it feels a little bit like, but I will say I'm glad that I know, like, I'm still going to be consistent. I just have to curb my enthusiasm. You know what I mean? This is all about making your choices. I only have so much time to do all the things that I want to do in a day, in this life, and I am just going to have to make the compromises, and that's okay. I'm happy to be able to make those compromises because I'm able to, I don't know, survive and see people and be with friends and be with loved ones and, hang out with my beautiful girlfriend. Like, I mean, these are great things, and I'm very happy, and I'm counting these blessings. But yeah, I'm going to miss it. Like, just like I miss doing 7 days a week for the podcast. Like, I know I'm going to have to make compromises probably in that regard more in the future. I know, bummer, my dear listeners. I know you guys love listening to me yap all the time. But no, I do appreciate it. I love you guys. I appreciate the opportunity every day. I miss it when I don't do it. But it's all about work, life, balance, bullshit. So anyway, I was at the gym, and it's busy. It's pretty packed. And I was able to get in what I wanted to get in, at least in terms of free weights. I was able to snag a Smith machine out of nowhere. Didn't lift my heaviest, but, is what it is. And then I was able to do some core work, and I didn't even get any cardio. I just didn't even have the time for it, given the whole day. So I do that. Then I come home, I stretch, I have a snack. And I know what you're thinking next. Oh, you just did research and you got into, you getting ready for it. No, wrong. I shaved my fucking head because my hair was going too long. I was feeling too shaggy, and it wasn't me. And I just wanted to, go bald head mode. And that was nice. That was good. Even though I feel like I look crazy, it's bandana time. But then we did our research, and now we're ready to get into some news. So yes. Let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's get into said news. Changes. Oh man. I will say, outside of that incident with the dogs, and mind you, that's not their fault. That's my fault. Like, I fucked up there. They've been great. A couple of situations where they want to bark at the other dogs and stuff. But like, something I'm really liking is that they overall will listen to me. And that's nice. So that's signs of good training, and they're good old boys, and I love them very much. Even Isaac with his crazy popped out eye. He's what a guy. He's a very old dog, but he's doing his best. All right. Our first story comes from Politico. A wow moment. Democrats' election hot streak goes scorching. Democrats just had one of their best election nights since President Donald Trump returned to the White House again. In Wisconsin's Supreme Court election, the Democratic backed candidate sailed to a nearly 20-point landslide victory Tuesday in a battleground Trump carried less than 2 years ago. Meanwhile, a Georgia Democrat slashed Trump's margin of victory by 2/3 in the state's reddest district, despite losing the election, the most significant overperformance the party has seen across all 7 House special elections so far this cycle. The results in the battleground states, home to key Senate gubernatorial, sorry, I'm fucking that up, and House races, are the latest repudiation from voters of Trump and his agenda and flashing warning signs for the GOP heading into November. It's a wow moment in Wisconsin politics, said former Republican strategist Brandon Schultz, who left the party in 2021. Republicans ought to be sitting down tonight and going, okay, we just screwed up another race. What are we going to do in November? Chris Taylor, a liberal Wisconsin judge, who is also in the thumbnail, led by 20 points with 90% of the votes counted, nearly double the already large margin another liberal candidate won by in 2025. And she did it by making cuts into GOP strongholds. In Georgia, Democratic Sean Harris lost to Republican Clay Fuller, but the margin was only 12 points, with nearly all votes counted, roughly 1/3 of the 37-point margin Trump won by in 2024. While Tuesday's results are not a perfect parallel to November, the consistent Democratic overperformances in races large and small since Trump returned to the White House suggest the base is motivated to turn out for all manner of contests. Now, to me, the rest is yada, yada, yada. I just wanted to post up and talk about those results. And say, yes, these are good things. I'm happy mostly about the Wisconsin thing, obviously, because that's an actual win you can hold on to. The shit with Georgia, I'm not. So I find that this is a thing that like Democrats are really good at doing, which is like patting themselves in the back for losing. At the end of the day, you did not win. And it's like cool that you cut the lead down, but this is just like the same shit that happens in like Texas where you like give yourselves an attaboy for like Beto O'Rourke showing up or something and being a cutie pie with a playlist or something. It's a waste of time to me if they don't win. And also, cut through the fucking tape. Let's look under the fucking hood. What have the Democrats offered people? Like what is the actual package? And so far, I'll tell you what I've gathered. One, Trump's bad. Trump's a bad guy. Did you know that? Did you know that Trump's a pretty fucking bad dude? Like, I know that you guys, like, he won the election. He's on his second term. It's crazy. But, like, did you know he's a bad guy? Okay, cool. We know that. So that you're already preaching to the converted there. The second real thing that they actually are trying to push is, like, affordability stuff. Which is like, okay, you have a perfect example because once again, things are going so poorly with this administration. So you can say, hey, let's pitch some things that we're going to make some changes for. And that's going to be positive. That's going to be good. But like, other than that, is there any real policy change? Is there anything that's actually like something that you can hang your hat on? No, they're doing the exact same shit. So when it gets dragged out and presented, it just doesn't look much different than what a Republican is offering me. So I'm very hard pressed to say, what are we really learning from? What are we really growing with? What are we really, like, what is the future for the Democratic Party? Where are we going to get these wins? Off of these vibes? Because you're not showing anything. You're not proving anything here right now. Once again, you're just pointing to the fucking orange guy and saying, he sucks, huh? P.U., am I right? Yeah, man. You've been right on that shit. We all hate this guy. But, like, you guys refuse to actually, like, put up a real candidate who does anything really, like, much different. Man. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't really want to rain on the parade, yuckity yum, or anything like that. I'm just not inspired by this in any way, shape, or form. I'm just happy with the Wisconsin thing. That's cool. But it just isn't that strong of an indicator to me. And even if it is, even if we get what we want in the midterms and shit, you can fast forward the button and like someone like a JD Vance doesn't win in 2028 or like Trump doesn't go infinite. Okay, so then we sit here for 4 years on a Gavin Newsom guy or whoever the fuck winds up becoming the pick, and no one's thrilled, everyone's upset, and then we just loop back to the same bullshit. I don't want to see that. You know, I want to see us actually making some fucking changes. Well, we'll see. You know, Obama said that shit, and then look where we are. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to our next story. Actually, a little bit of in-betweener here. I really hadn't planned. It's not on the docket, per se, to talk about the Iran stuff. I mean, I was talking about this shit yesterday, and I really was like, just like, it felt weird because the ceasefire thing actually did stick, by the way, quote unquote. Like, it is a fucking thing. It wasn't just bluster. But that being said, I mean, there's so many details here. It's such a shifting thing. I kind of want to give it a full day or two to actually, like, to see what happens and how real the ceasefire is. Because y'all know how ceasefires goes on this shit. We talked about it before. Ergo, a Gaza-Israel situation. Israel-Gaza situation, whatever. So yeah, I mean, that's obviously big news, but I'll save it for another day. But anyway, or maybe see news. Death of Vietnamese immigrant in Indiana facility is latest ICE detainee fatality. A Vietnamese immigrant died in government custody last week, according to a notification sent to lawmakers from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, marking the latest detainee death during the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Tuan Van Bui, a 55-year-old immigrant, died at the Miami Correctional Center in Indiana. He is the 46th person to die in federal custody during the current Trump administration. In its notification, ICE said that on-site staff discovered Bui unresponsive and immediately initiated life-saving measures, including CPR. Staff immediately contacted emergency services personnel who swiftly responded to the scene and initiated advanced life support interventions. The cause of death is under investigation. ICE officials said that Bui was ordered removed by an immigration judge in 2005. And that he had been arrested over a dozen times on charges including robbery, theft, assault, criminal conspiracy, reckless endangerment, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, manufacture, carrying firearms, resisting arrest, and DUI. Mind you, none of those things warrant you dying in a detention facility like it's a damn dungeon. But here we are. Court records show Bui filed a habeas petition challenging his detention in February. A district judge responded to the petition the day after Bui died, ordering the government to detail its plans for his removal by April 6th. The government filed a status report on Monday after Bui died, but the contents of that report are not public because the habeas petition is sealed. And this is a really grim statistic to close this out. According to an ABC News analysis of ICE data and the number of detainee deaths provided to Congress, the first 14 months of the second Trump administration represent the deadliest period for federal detention system in recent years, with the exception of 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic contributed to a spike in deaths. So it's almost like that's what they're competing with here. And it's like, well, hey, I guess if we can't deport people, we'll just let them rot to death. I mean, you could slap a speculation hat on my head, I guess, for that fucking statement, but you just see what's happening here. It's like they're just letting the fucking system in and of itself just eat a person and then just keep doing that shit. And of course they're like, yeah, oh, we did everything right. You know, don't get me wrong. Once we saw a body, we tried to do our best. It's like, no, you let a person die and you've been doing that kind of shit. Not to mention killing people, but that's a whole other fucking thing. Needless to say, I wanted to get the story, so I am glad we at least covered it. If I get any more updates, we will definitely circle back. All right, so our next story actually is a double dose of ABC News. I need to take a water break, but we got some true crime now time, okay? True crime when? True crime right the fuck now. Now, this is a bit of a mea culpa. Despite me being a true crime head, I didn't touch the story at all. Not a damn lick. But I mean, we've been busy, you know. I've been showing my work on a damn near daily basis. You know me. But this story, or at least this trial, I should say, officially wrapped up with a verdict. So I'm like, you know what? What better time than now? So we're going to get on our reading glasses, our spectacles, and get nice and cozy. And we're going to do a little bit of a read along. Jury reaches verdict in trial of Hawaii doctor accused of trying to kill wife on hike. The wife on a hike. I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's like a rhyme or some sort of really bad poem. I don't know. The jury has reached a verdict in the trial of a Hawaii doctor accused of trying to kill his wife on a hiking trail last year. Dr. Gerhard Konig, or is it Konig? It's not Konig, it's Konig? We're going to say Konig. Dr. Gerhard Konig, 47, was charged with second-degree attempted murder. Prosecutors allege the anesthesiologist attacked his wife, Ariel Konig, near a cliff while on the Palipuka Trail on here we go. Oahu, for her birthday on March 24th, 2025, by pushing her near the edge and then beating her multiple times with a rock. The defense, meanwhile, has alleged that Ariel Konig attacked her husband first and that he hit her with the rock in self-defense, characterizing it as a case of he said, she said. And we're going to go through the points that are presented in this article, and then you can make your own speculations as I'm going to. But maybe you can tell by the tilt and lilt of my voice. Come on now, for real, dog. This is just a case of he says, she said. No, really? With the rock in your hand? And her looking like, okay, well, let's continue. The jury began deliberations Tuesday afternoon, following 3 weeks of testimony in the Honolulu trial. Gerhard Konig pleaded not guilty. If the jurors were unable to find him guilty of the second-degree attempted murder, they would then consider whether he is guilty of attempted manslaughter based upon extreme mental or emotional disturbance, first-degree attempted assault, second-degree assault, or third-degree assault. Both Gerhard Konig and his wife took the stand during the trial, presenting widely differing accounts of what happened on the hike. And once again, I've said this before, I will say it again, it is always bold when you take the stand in your own defense. But he was like, no, I got to set this record straight. Ariel Konig testified that the two had traveled to Oahu from their home in Maui to celebrate her birthday. She said they had been working on repairing their marriage after her husband found what she characterized as flirty WhatsApp messages between her and a colleague in December of 2024, and what she said was an emotional affair. Okay, so, essentially saying like, hey, this was like my work husband, I guess you could kind of quote it as that, that we weren't doing anything physical, but yes, like we had a little bit of a flirty vibe with each other. We talked maybe a lot, maybe a little too much, some might say, but that was it. That was the extent of it, is what is being described, I believe. Ariel Konig further testified that her husband... did I skip something? Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I skipped like a very important part. She testified that during the hike, her husband pushed her towards the edge of a cliff. As they wrestled on the ground with him on top, pinning her down, he produced a syringe and a vial, she said. Ariel Konig further testified that her husband proceeded to beat her with a rock as many as 10 times, and that she believed he was trying to knock her unconscious in order to drag her over the edge of the cliff. She recalled screaming, "Please help, he's trying to kill me," and that when 2 women happened upon them, her husband froze, and she was able to then crawl away. While testifying in his own defense over 2 days, Gerhard Konig maintained that he never intended to hurt his wife and acted in self-defense when he struck her with the rock. Brother, I just don't see how you're saying, no, she actually was the one who was trying to hit me with the rock. I get the rock back and I start beating her crazy. Like, so crazy that when the people come up on me, I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? Also, this leads to him, I think, fleeing, and then it becomes a whole fucking manhunt. I know I'm kind of skipping further ahead here. Also, he felt suicidal afterwards. He was so sad for all these things that happened, having to defend himself, by the way. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't be in high emotional distress over all of this and make some really bad decisions. But they just don't seem like decisions of a man who was like, hey, we're having the time of our lives trying to work on our marriage, and then you tried to kill me, so I needed to beat you senseless to save my life. I'm not there. I don't know, but I'm just saying this is how it reads to me, and that's how I have to say it. I don't know. He told the court that his wife pushed him near the edge after they got into an argument about her affair, and that she hit him with a rock first while they struggled on the ground. He admitted to hitting her with the rock while on top of her, saying he struck her twice, though he denied having any syringes or trying to pull her towards the cliff's edge. Now, I didn't follow the trial well enough or know any details. I would say maybe that's the only thing I'm kind of curious about. There's this vial and syringe missing. Where's that? I feel like that might be a key thing. But maybe he threw that. Maybe he ran off with it and then disposed of it. There's so many ways to make sure that it just isn't a thing or it's just not found. Okay, whatever. It's neither here nor there. You have the rock in your hand, Clue style, my good sir. It doesn't look good for you. That's all I'm saying. As a juror, I feel like this would be kind of slam dunk to me, and I'm saying, yeah, that you look guilty, brother. And then let's read this. Let's read this sad emotional quote. I just felt helpless at that point in terms of everything, he said. I felt horrible about what I did to her, that I had caused this to her, that I had resorted to violence against my wife, the person who I love the most in the world. And I just kind of felt hopeless in terms of our relationship too. Man, those flirty messages bodied this guy. He was like, dude, I'm about to do some acts of passion against you, dude. It's over, dude. Let's see. During closing arguments, prosecutor Joel Gardner and Ariel Konig's straightforward and coherent testimony was corroborated by the bloody evidence at the scene, the severity of her injuries, digital evidence, and testimony of other witnesses, including the two women who came upon the couple. That to me is so damning for this dude, for this Gerhardt guy. It's like, dog, there's nothing about what you're saying that rings true to me. You just seem like a liar who got caught in trying to kill your wife. And also they allude to the reason here. Gardner alleged that Gerhardt Konig came up with a plan to kill his wife on the challenging Palipuka Trail to avoid a costly divorce, and called the defendant's testimony, including his self-defense claims, unbelievable. Now, I agree with Gardner here. They do seem unbelievable. In terms of being like, oh my God, this divorce is gonna I will never financially recover from this from this divorce. Like, and then you get the ... temptation ? Like, okay, bud, I get that your mind is swimming in a dark place, but I'm here to tell the whole world, any kind of struggling husband and or wife, don't do that. Don't do it. And actually, don't do the other thing that maybe people might be thinking. I'm going to run away. I'm going to run away from my problems. I'm going to flee. Okay. And it's like, hey, I'm no one to give life advice. I'm in my shitty little armchair. But just get the divorce. Just do the thing. Trust me, it's going to be a financial nightmare. Sure. It's going to be an emotional hellscape, roller coaster. But like, you're going to get through it. Don't try to take your wife on a fucking trail and push her off a cliff. That's crazy. Don't do that. All right, that's bad. You're not gonna come out of that clean, okay? Okay. Anyway, let's see here. The prosecutor also pointed to testimony from Gerhardt Konig's older son from his prior marriage, who told the court that his father admitted to trying to kill his wife, which, pretty damning. Asked by the prosecutor to recount what his father said during the FaceTime call, Emily Konig testified that he would not be making it back to Maui and to take good care of the younger kids, and that Ari, my stepmom, had been cheating on him and that he tried to kill her. Period. And let's see, they try to say that this is like an emotional outburst kind of moment, that you can't really use this as actually a credible confession, because he was just like, oh, it was high stress, da 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 da. It's like, man said what he said on a FaceTime call. I don't know, man. I think if I was, once again, the juror, I'm taking him at his word. I don't know. Call me crazy. So yeah, I mean, there's more details here. I did think we were just gonna read all of it, but yeah, man. Actually, let me read this last part. Gerhardt Konig, who worked as an anesthesiologist on Maui, has been in jail since his arrest. Following his arrest, Maui Health said his medical staff privileges at Maui Memorial Medical Center have been suspended pending investigation. So there you go. Yeah, he's apparently, out of work as well. So they go, oh, damn. She took everything. So yeah, I don't know. This is a story that had kind of been on the fringes of my radar, but I will admit there've just been other things happening, other things that I was, more prone to cover that I called priority. But hey, this wrapped up. We were able to kind of just run through it, and I imagine we will come back to any kind of sentencing in the later future. All right, but yeah, speaking of tying up a story, we are going to close out with the ketamine queen, at least her sentencing. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take our last break, and then we will close it out. Yeah, I cannot stress enough. Don't kill anybody. A crazy notion, hot take. Violence isn't the answer. Huh? There you go. Sounds like such a fucking lame thing to say, but I mean, people like I have you seen an episode of Snapped? My dad used to watch those when I was a kid. I'd like come home and I would just see him watching how just some lady lost it and then just fucking murder the guy. But then you peel back the reasons why, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, I understand it. I hear you. But also it's like, don't do it. Just don't. All right. Our last story comes from Reuters. Ketamine queen sentenced to 15 years in death of Friend star Matthew Perry. A drug dealer dubbed the Ketamine Queen was sentenced on Wednesday to 15 years in prison in connection with with Friend star Matthew Perry's 2023 death, including her role in supplying the dose of the powerful anesthetic that killed the actor. Jasmine Sangha, who admitted to running a stash house for illegal narcotics out of her home in the North Hollywood district of Los Angeles, pleaded guilty in September to 5 felony drug counts stemming from Perry's death at the age of 54. Sangha, wearing beige prison garb for the hearing in Los Angeles federal court, expressed remorse for her role in Perry's death in a statement she delivered before being sentenced. I take full responsibility for my actions. These were terrible choices that ultimately proved tragic. Sangha, 42, told U.S. District Judge Sherilyn Garnett. The judge imposed a 15-year term as federal prosecutors had recommended. The dual U.S. British citizen had faced a possible sentence of up to 65 years. Sangha's sentence was harsher than those given to two physicians already sentenced in the case. Two more convicted co-defendants, another drug dealer and Perry's former personal assistant, have yet to be sentenced. And I'm going to say, just full disclosure, I might not cover the rest of them. To me, the two physicians were most important, and then Sangha. Maybe we cover the, the assistant. Maybe we don't. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I do have thoughts. I kind of think all three of them should have gotten the same sentencing. Is that crazy? I don't know. Maybe there's like logistical, legal reasons on why that was. I don't know. I'm too stupid to know. Maybe not stupid, but you know what I mean. But needless to say, this is more or less putting a period on the sentence with her getting the 15 years. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this a good amount. Obviously it's unfortunate that Matthew Perry died and, went out the way that he did. Obviously R.I.P. I do remember covering that story in the moment. I do remember just the follow-ups and everything, going through a bit of the trial, all that. So, coming back to these is just kind of like, what a bummer. Just gotta add, it's like updating the ledger. It's what it feels like in a lot of ways. So it goes. Like I said, I don't have any more sense to add. What can I say? But yeah, that is where we will leave it. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Get on there for the roll call. We do that at the top of the month. I plug projects if you like. If you've got a business, if you've got, I don't know, a birthday, if you want to shout out someone through me, a little bit of like, hey, like a cameo. I do that shit once a month for you, for my newsies. I do that shit. Hell, I maybe even tell you personal stories. Who knows? There are things you unlock with the newsie package that you only get with extensive levels of friendship. I'm not being parasocial here. I'm just saying that this just happens. It's just kind of a crazy thing that happens when you give a person money. When you give a person money who doesn't have much money. Anywho, just subscribe today. Become a patron today. Free ways to hit me up, isaiahnews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, follow on TikTok, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen. Leave a like, leave a cool comment. Sharing is always caring. 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Send me to the moon. Send me over the moon, please. Like the Artemis 2, okay? Do that for me. And just by, leaving cool reviews or any of the other things I mentioned earlier. But you know what? What really just fucking just makes my ship sail is you just letting me do this shit every day, or every day that I'm able. God damn it. I appreciate being able to yap about my day, about my life, about my times. Hell, sometimes even my tragedies. But also the news and things at hand to the best of my ability. I appreciate you letting me do that. It really does mean the world to me. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.